Hello guys, this is Kong. I'm back again for another movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called The Birth of a Nation. I'm going to start off with just a simple gist of the story. Is basically Nat Turner is a rebel who tried to start a uprising, to fight against their slave owner. That's pretty much it. That's the gist of the story. If you want a spoiler, just let me know in the comments so I know if you guys want me to do a separate one for spoilers or not. So, anyways, moving on the pros of the movies. I'm gonna look at my little cheat sheet here. So the pro of this of Birth of a Nation is the story is I did not know about Nat Turner. Maybe I might have heard of Nat Turner in history class, but I don't remember recalling learning about Nat Turner. I could be wrong. And the good thing about this movie, the thing that I liked about it is the scenes. The first scene was his mother bringing him into a kind of like a ritual, and this shamans was telling him that he's a prophecy and one day he's gonna change. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then another scene where Nat Turner saw an angel. It wasn't like a beautiful angel, but it was a kind of imperfect angel. That was kind of interesting to notice that, because you think as an angel as a perfect, beautiful being, but then the angel he saw wasn't perfect, and thought that was interesting. And then another third scene that I thought was really interesting was the scene that he got whipped, and then the fifth scene is where he where he himself was painted in white, and then there was a child running, and then he protected the child, and then that was interesting. And then another scene, the sixth scene that I thought that was interesting was the scene where they had all these black slave hung, almost as if were a decorative thing to hang up on trees. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know if the director did that on purpose or not, or just the way they were able to hung those people over the trees. So I don't know if that was a purpose or not. And then the last scene where he killed his owner, and then it is on the before you walk down the stairs, and then the owner is on like the right side of the scene, and then Nat Turner is standing on the right scene, and then in the background you see the cross. I thought that was interesting. So there's a lot of scene that I like in this movie, and that's why. And then there's a lot of symbolic, where his chest, he had like 3 dots stand for prophecy, truth, something like that. I can't remember the other two. And then there was the scene where there's 2 scenes where he get whipped. It totally reminded me of Passion of the Christ. Christ getting crucified on the cross, where he's not crucified on the cross, but he is whipped. And then there was another scene where he injured his owner, and then behind on the window there was a cross, and I thought that was interesting. And then there's a symbol of a corn, and then there's an angel. So it has symbolic meaning, and I like that. Another thing that I like about this movie is that it's brutal and it's truthful. Like how these white owner really treated these black slave badly, where there's a scene where the white owner took out one of the black slave teeth out, and he obviously, our main character, get whipped. Black slave gets shot, killed. Sex. So the woman is sexually a rape, not a rape, but without sensual consent. So that was it was truthful. It was, they didn't hide from it, and I really appreciate that. It's one of those movies that they need to show it or show it off scene, the truth. And then the last thing that I thought it was good, not the last thing, but the thing I like about this movie was the Nat Turner. It was two scenes where there was many scenes that he was being, I guess, tested, his commitment to his fate, in front of this white owner, and then yet he had to preach to the black slave about the good word of the Lord or God. And it is two scenes that really tests him. And I thought that was important. As a character or as a hero, he must, he must overcome the little obstacle and then the big obstacles, in order to show his growth and his growth, basically. And then the last thing I found that was good about this movie was the end, not the ending, the ending where he got hung, and then his eyes start going roll up, and then he slowly see the angel that he saw earlier. But then after that, you saw the little boy that supposedly snitched or told all of these rebels, and you see his face, and then slowly they zoom out, and then he's in a infantry. I think he's I want to say the Union, and then he's shooting gun, and he's running toward, I would assume, the Confederate nation, fight the southern nation, the southern state army. You could that's what I think that's how I could tell. And then I thought that whole scene, the whole facial transition was just so smooth, and I thought that was interesting. It was just beautiful the way they did it. The con of this movie is that I felt that his grandmother's death felt a little short. It didn't feel impactful. It didn't feel like it was pushing him, or it was a tipping point for him. So that was the only thing. It was not the only thing, but it was kind of bad. Not bad, but. And then there was another scene where the bleeding corn, I didn't really understand that. Maybe the bleeding corn represent, bread, food for the slave. I don't know exactly what that means. It's kind of doesn't tell you much. So alright, so suggestion I would like to make to the director or the playwright, whoever, I would say the director mostly, but one would be more cinematic shot, two more ambient or more sound to kind of give us the atmospheric feeling, especially the end of his death, or at the beginning, or one of those dream sequence, can give it a little bit more punch, a little bit more feel to it. And the third, maybe expand on the white painted scene where he's facing, he put his back against the audience, and then you see the child running, and then you see these black character with black eyes, and I was kind of and it was cut short, and I wish it was expand that a little bit, maybe have him pull out a sword, and then that kind of foreshadow him actually getting a sword. I thought they could expand that, kind of give us an idea. Oh, okay, maybe this was his dream that was coming true, and he saw it. like I said earlier, built upon his mother's death. She, was kind of flat, so maybe kind of, expand on that. Maybe give her maybe a few scenes where he developed, not with his mother, I'm sorry, with his grandmother. I apologize, with his grandmother. Expand that scene a little bit more. And then I kind of also wanted it that them to develop the scene with him and his wife. It was a little bit, but it wasn't a depth enough that they felt the bond together. So they should have built a relationship between Nat Turner and his wife. So the moral of this movie, Birth of a Nation, is basically to fight for injustice, to fight for freedom for all people. That's what I got from this movie, was to fight what you believe in that is right for you and others. So that's the moral of this movie. Alright, so suggestion I would like to make to the director or the playwright, whoever, I would say the director mostly, but one would be more cinematic shot, two more ambient or more sound to kind of give us the atmospheric feeling, especially the end of his death, or at the beginning, or one of those dream sequence, can give it a little bit more punch, a little bit more feel to it. And the third, maybe expand on the white painted scene where he's facing, he put his back against the audience, and then you see the child running, and then you see these black character with black eyes, and I was kind of like, and it was cut short, and I wish it was expanded a little bit, maybe have him pull out a sword, and then that kind of like foreshadow him actually getting a sword. I thought they could expand that, kind of give us an idea. Oh, okay, maybe this was his dream that was coming true, and he saw it. Like I said earlier, built upon his mother's death. She, was kind of flat, so maybe kind of, expand on that. Maybe give her maybe a few scenes where he developed, not with his mother, I'm sorry, with his grandmother. I apologize, with his grandmother. Expand that scene a little bit more. And then I kind of also wanted it that them to develop the scene with him and his wife. It was a little bit, but it wasn't a depth enough that they felt the bond together. So they should have built a relationship between Nat Turner and his wife. So the score I would give it to this movie would be a 9 out of 10. It is really good. It's truthful. It's brutal. It's honest. It's one of those movies that I really like. I appreciated the symbolic, the hero. There wasn't much in action, but it was true. That I appreciated the attempt to tell the true story. So I would say I would recommend it. It is a 9 out of 10 movie, a 9 out of 10. So go see it if you have the chance. But beware, it is a little hard to watch at some point. So thank you guys. Please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.